Well, happy Wednesday, everyone out there. It has been quite a while since the last interview itself on this page, let alone a Wednesday Night Live interview, and so happy that everything, hopefully technology wise, is working. And of course, my name is Mason. If we haven't met before, I run Mason Aaron's racing videos. If you haven't been following me at all this summer, it's been a very, very hectic season. And so, as we're now in August, things are starting to wind down just a little bit, and hopefully we'll kind of get to some normalcy in the schedule and weather cooperates, because that's been kind of hectic to kind of deal with too. But of course, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube is where you can find me and all my racing content. I usually post the full videos on YouTube and kind of sprinkle in some highlights on Instagram and TikTok from time to time. We'll be getting right in the interview here in just a little bit. Very excited for this guest, as he's a young up-and-coming racer out of Lisbon, North Dakota. He drives the number 22 NX legend, Mr. Regan Reinke. How are you doing, sir?
Good.
Good deal. And you got your car already set up, looking nice in the shop. You've been
Yeah.
working pretty hard on the car this week already?
Yeah. Yeah, we did some stuff, made some changes to it, so hopefully they work.
There you go. Yeah, it's like no shortage of work to be done on the race car, no matter what day
Yeah.
of the week it is.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, Steven Ader's already checking in. Hey, Steven Ader, good to see you. I'm hopefully going to be seeing you this weekend at some point. If any of you have a question for Regan or myself during this interview, feel free to drop it in the comments below as we get to know Regan and his racing adventures. I guess the first question I have for you, Regan, is how long have you been behind the wheel of a race car?
Well, I started out in go-karts in I don't even know, 2018, and then ran them for 2 or 3 years, and then this is my second year in the legend car, and yeah.
Nice. And I saw you race a few times in the go-kart over at the Red River Valley Kart Club here in West Fargo. Did you race anywhere else in the go-kart?
We went up to Watford City this winter and ran the back in shootout, and we won that. But yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. I always tell people that have like go-kart backgrounds that I wish I would have done that when I was growing up, because I'm sure I wouldn't be doing this right now. I'd probably be doing what you're doing behind the wheel of a full-blown
Yeah,
race car.
yeah, yeah. They're pretty fun. They're a lot to handle, but yeah, they're pretty fun.
Well, and even like the few times I've been out to the Red River Kart Club, I mean, some of the kart classes go pretty dang quick around the racetrack. So is it as fast as it looks like?
Yeah, yeah. They feel really fast because you're so low to the ground and just so tight. You just keep turning. So yeah, they're pretty quick.
When I'm sure you feel, well, I mean, the track is pretty smooth, but I'm sure you probably feel every bump as you're going around the corners like that.
Yep, yeah. With no suspension, yeah, it's pretty bumpy.
Well, and I suppose with racing in X Legend, because that's you kind of sit pretty low to the ground in that. How similar is it going from a go kart to an NX Legend?
Well, I basically say a legend car is a really, really fast go-kart. That's kind of how I would explain it. It's pretty similar, but yeah, they each have their differences.
Yeah, and I noticed that there's a lot of racers, especially like from the go karting ranks in West Fargo, that have transitioned in the NX Legends. So I'm sure there's a lot of drivers that you raced against in go karts, and you're now racing against the Legends, which is probably pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. All of my buddies, we all race together in go-karts, and we're all getting into the legend cars and just having a good time.
Yeah, it's all about having a good time with your racing friends too. No matter what age you are and what car class you're in, it's always good to see you
Yeah,
guys having fun.
yep.
Well, I want to say hi to Bobby Ann tuning in. Hey, Bobby Ann, good to see you. Also, Jeremy Bloom checking in all the way from Wisconsin, checking in. He's asking, where does the number 22 come from?
Um, well, my dad runs it, so I like that number. I just really like the 22, and that's kind of what I run. I don't know why he chose it, but yeah.
Nice. And I know both Zach and Nate also come from go karting backgrounds, so I'm sure that helped a lot in your young racing career, especially up to this point.
Yeah, they did. They kind of knew what to do, but we still had a lot of help from a lot of other people, 'cause it changes every year, so they had to relearn all of it too. But yeah, they were a big help.
Well, and even like in your later years in go karting, and even now working on the NX Legend, how much of it do you do kind of by yourself, or is it a pretty joint effort, kind of working on the car and setting it up?
It's a joint effort. I mean, Dad, Nate, Grandpa even helps us with both. They just so then we all can kind of learn together. The hard part about this is they haven't raced on these ever, so I'm kind of having to tell them like what it feels like and all that. So then they try and tell me what to do, and then yeah, it's pretty weird, but
I say, have you stuck Uncle Nate in the car and see what it feels like for him, or?
no, we haven't yet. No, we might see it. Nobody can fit in it, so they can't go out and test it. They really want to, but they can't.
Fair enough, fair enough. I suppose they just gotta take what you say and try to adjust the car to your liking.
Yep, yeah,
Well, Bobby Ann's asking, what's the name of the cute pup on the car?
Bombay.
Bombay. So if
Yep,
those that don't know the Fromkeys, they have three Goldens, and the youngest is Bombay. So and he's a ball of energy. Let's just put it that way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He is.
Yeah, it's awesome. Jurek Stabler also checking in too. He's saying that it's nice to see the younger generation out there coming up and willing to do interviews. Not many kids do interviews these days. And we were actually talking beforehand that this is Regan's first interview. So quite the first interview, I'm sure, for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, even before like you get into like the full blown race cars, were you pretty deep into racing, like as far as like video games or like watching racing in general?
Yeah. I've been watching racing my whole life, whether it's my dad, my uncle, or just going to races. I mean, yeah, kind of everything.
Do you have like a favorite? Let's see. Do you have like a favorite racing class besides maybe the one that you currently is that you like to watch or go see?
Um, Probably the modifieds or the World of Outlaw late models probably are one of my favorite. They look like a handful to drive, and but they can put on one heck of a show.
Yeah, they do. Did you get a chance to go over to Norman County for that first World of Outlaws show?
No, we didn't actually. We didn't get to go. We had to work on the cars, so we didn't get enough time to. But I really wanted to. But
I say you got to
no.
work before you can play, I guess, and especially when it
Yeah,
comes to race cars too.
yeah, yeah. We were trying to, but then we just didn't pan out quite right. But
Well, I know that I've seen pictures that you've been over to several different racetracks. I think one of the ones I used in the post today was down in Tennessee at Volunteer Speedway.
yeah, yeah. Bulls Gap. We
That
went to that Kyle Larson deal. Yeah, that was pretty cool. We went in the infield, and yeah, we went in that mob of people around his car. We were in it. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
that is
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
and what would you say is the favorite, like your most favorite track that you visited up to this point?
Ooh, that I visited uh Fergus Falls,
Okay.
I-94 EMR. That it's just a nice facility that I've noticed, and yeah, we might go race there at the end of the year because they have a 2 day show, or maybe it's just a 1 day show with the legend cars there. So might go run there.
Yeah, I forgot about that because I think that was that Gopher State Showdown last year that they did.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, and you got obviously Zach's raced their play types. Nate's got a good handle on that place this year. Although
yeah,
this last week, I'm assuming the shop was pretty busy with Nate's car.
yeah. It was. He didn't have a great week in Fergus. He wrecked a lot of stuff, but yeah, it was not a good deal. But yeah, we were pretty busy.
Yeah, his car was almost looking similar to a legend car. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you get roped into kind of working on the Midwest mods as well, or you kind of stay focused on working on your vehicle?
Yeah, we all kind of pitch in, all kind of work on each other's cars and help each other with stuff. And yeah,
Nice. Well, that's good that you're getting experience working on different vehicles as you're growing in your racing career. Looks like Veronica
yeah.
Burns is also tuning in from Montana. Thank you, Veronica, for watching tonight. So, second year of the Legends, what is your, I guess, career aspirations? Like, do you want to get into any different classes right now, or what's your kind of future looking like?
I don't really know. I think we're just kind of seeing where this goes. I think I might stick with it for a while here, and then we'll see where it goes. I'll probably end up staying in it and try and rope Dad into running it. But
There you go.
yeah, yeah, maybe in a few years. But he likes the Midwest mod, so it'd be
Fair
pretty
enough. Yeah,
tough.
Midwest Mod
Yeah,
Classes is really fun to watch. Very competitive too. It seems like one week you could be up at the front of the field, and the next week it's kind of like, barely missed the setup, and we're running mid pack.
yeah. What happened, right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And so you've been racing actually quite a bit over this last year or two. What tracks have you raced at up to this point?
I think we've ran Jamestown for sure. In Lisbon, Cheyenne Speedway. We went to Norman County and raced a few times this year and last year. And then Wishick, Tri County. And I feel like I'm forgetting one, but yeah, but a lot of different stuff. Oh, we went to Fargo for a few times this year. Did pretty good there for this year for my first time being there. We missed the show by one spot on the first night,
Mm.
then made it the second night, got the last spot in. So yeah, I mean, Fargo, that's a fun track. It's not as big as it looks in the car. It's really weird. It's kind of just a circle, but it's really fun.
Yeah, especially since they shortened it from when it used to be a half mile. Yeah, when you look at it from
Hap-
like an aerial perspective, it looks like a big giant circle.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah. It feels like a massive Lisbon is kind of what I would explain it.
Yeah, so you like with all the tracks that you kind of mentioned, you get it your good variety. You get the long straightaways at Norman County, you get the high banks of Jamestown. Is there a track that kind of fits your style the best that you kind of gotten a knack for quicker than others?
Jamestown, I like because the banking is easier to run on, but like Lisbon, I don't know. It's the home track, so I kind of am a little, uh, yeah, I like that one a lot better than any of them. But probably Jamestown is probably the one that I'm the better, better at. But
Yeah, that's also that's kind of good to hear because like obviously there's a lot of big races coming up towards the end of the year. Stock Car Stampede in Jamestown is a big
yeah,
one, so definitely getting some good laps around there. I assume because we were talking a little bit beforehand. Are you planning to be there in Jamestown for the doubleheader this upcoming weekend?
yep, we are. We're gonna be there both nights.
Excellent, and it's cool too because with the legends, there's at least 20 to 30 cars. It seems like every single week, so you definitely get some good practice against some stiff competition.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough anywhere you go. I mean, there's like you said, 20, 30 cars anywhere, and they all could win. I mean, it's really tough.
Well, Bobby Ann's got a question for you in regards to NASCAR. Who's the better racer, Kyle Larson or Kyle Busch?
Oh man, Bobby, really? uh, Kyle Busch is one of my favorite drivers, but the better driver is Kyle Larson. I like him. He can wheel anything.
I'd probably have to also give the nod to Kyle Larson just because of the fact that he can jump in anything and race. I'm sure Kyle Busch could
Yeah.
do the same. Hasn't had the best year on the NASCAR side, so it's like,
No, he hasn't.
which but most of it I don't think is his fault. He just is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Kind of just racing stuff.
Yep, yep. It happens to the best of us. But
Yeah, like I put a GoPro in Regan's car twice this year. The with both times didn't end up the best, but you're running very competitively in both, just kind of fluke incidents.
Yeah, the first night in Wishick, we've been having issues, and yeah, we were going pretty good, and then the throttle, our issue just hit us again, just whacked us right in the gut, and so we had to roll into the infield, and then he put it on in Lisbon, and was running up front, and then I just messed up and spun out in the front of the pack, running third or fourth, and then got hit. But no, yeah,
I mean, sometimes you got to push it to the edge and to know where the car's limits and where maybe
yep,
you can try to maneuver a little bit differently. But I mean, if you're not like trying that hard and like you're on the edge, I mean, it's hard to kind of grow from there.
yep, yeah. That's kind of what I was told after. That was pretty let down on myself, but then yeah, I watched a few more races, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. So then I'm like, okay, we're back. So so yeah,
Yep, it's always a learning experience every time you go out on the track. Hey,
yeah.
Ryan Erdahl checking in the Zero NX Legend. Good to see you, Ryan. Look excited to see you this weekend as well. So, like you mentioned, like you race a lot with a lot of your friends from go karts and the NX Legends. Are there certain drivers that you enjoy racing against the most?
Oh, all of them. They're all fun to race against. If I can keep up with them, they're all so fast. I don't know if I can keep up with all of them, but no. Yeah, just all of them. They're all really fun.
Well, and yeah, like you said, like I think when I kept track last year with Legends, I think there's like 80 to 90 at least across the state. So I mean, it like that just makes the competition even better. So I mean, you really are racing against some really good competition every single track you
Yeah,
go to.
yeah.
Oh, Steven Eater kind of stirring the pot. He's asking who the best photographer is.
Steven Ader, it's you, obviously.
Oh, good old Steven Eater. I assume you're going to be in Ada. Are you going to be in Jamestown, Steven Eater? I'll be curious because it's going to be a fun time over there in Jamestown. Just saying. While we got a second before I ask you a few more questions, give a shout out to any of the sponsors and any of the people that help you out on your racing program, Regan.
uh, Mom, Dad, Grandpa, Grandma, both of them. Um, Recce Aviation and Golden Properties, and then Nate helps a lot too. So yeah, a lot of people that chip in and help.
Gotcha. Yep. It always takes a great team behind it to kind of keep the racing program going from track to track, especially.
Yeah.
So, what's the plans for as far as the rest of the season goes? Are you racing anywhere specifically for points, or are you kind of just going wherever you can at this point?
Um, Lisbon, we're mainly running for points, but there's only one night left there. And then, like, Jamestown, we're not in the hunt for points, but we might go there, I don't know, whenever we have time, really. And then we're going to run Ada this Thursday, and we might try the Stampede. And then that Gopher Showdown, we might try. But yeah, that's kind of all I know. It's kind of just like when we see a race up, we go, oh, should we go? And then we go, oh, yeah, I guess we have the time. So then we do.
Might as well. I mean, the racing season is only so long, and especially with the way the
Yeah.
weather's been, it's like don't necessarily know how many more racing,
Yeah.
much more racing we'll get.
Yeah.
Well, and as far as like kind of heading into the off season, what keeps you busy outside of the racing, or is it mainly just racing that you focus on at this point?
Racing, and then I'm gonna start football here pretty soon, and then yeah, school.
Well, yeah, school's important in football. What position do you play?
I don't even know yet. We
Okay.
haven't started, so I don't even know. It's our first year, so
Oh, gotcha.
yeah.
Well, that'll be a learning experience too. But I assume still that the racing is kind of going to be like your main focus. Going to be like when can we get back to racing season?
Yep. Yeah, that'll be the main focus. Yep.
Nice. Oh, Steven Ayers mentioning Fargo Force hockey, which I still have not been to a Fargo Force game, surprisingly.
I haven't either.
Well, it's like I
That's
get so caught up in racing and I get so caught up in projects that I'm like, oh yeah, I probably could go attend this, but then I find another thing to work on or find another race to go to.
Yep, yeah, that's kind of how we are too. We've tried to go, and then something's popped up, or a race has popped up on a night, and then we just go racing. Then yeah,
Bobby Ann's asking if schools should adopt racing as an elective class.
they should. I think.
I agree with that. I think it'd be a good experience because you learn so much stuff with racing, working on the cars, mechanics, probably some mathematics involved. I'm sure you've learned a lot just in
Yeah,
this last couple years.
yeah. You learn a lot of stuff about how they work and what you need to do to get it to work, and yeah, just a ton of different odds and ends.
What would you say has been the biggest challenge with racing the NX Legend for you up to this point?
Probably I don't know, the change from a go-kart to a legend car. Just my issue is I've been told very many times, you drive too straight, and it's just I'm so used to the go-kart, and yeah, that's the issue is I need to adapt to this better, but yeah, I don't know. That's probably the biggest thing.
Well, and is it so? I know you're big into iRacing too, and I haven't been on iRacing in quite a while, but I know when I was trying to race the Legends, like they're very touchy, like you're on the gas. So I assume it's the same way with in real life.
Yes, they on iRacing they're not as touchy. They're really touchy in real life, but yeah, they're a handful. That
Yeah,
is for sure.
yeah, because I see some drivers that are able to kind of like hang it out like dead sideways, and I'm just like, man, that's really on the edge of control in one of those things.
Yeah. I watch them do it, and I'm like, I wish I could do that, but I don't know if I want to.
No, definitely not. Ryan's asking, what track have you not raced yet that you would like to race at?
Man, that'd be a really fun track to try.
Mandan is a really fun place, and like Legends there, you could probably go 8 wide and not even touch.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. They're really. I've watched a few of your videos there, and yeah, they look really fun there. So
Yeah, I would definitely recommend that. I think can't remember. I don't think the Gopher State Showdown is the same weekend as Oktoberfest, but that might be a fun weekend to head over there.
yeah,
Jeremy Bloom is asking, who is your favorite NFL team? Do you watch the NFL?
yeah. The Buffalo Bills.
Oh,
I
interesting.
yeah,
What made you pick the
yeah.
Buffalo Bills?
Really no reason. I kind of liked them for the past 2 or 3 years. I used to be an Eagles fan, but once they got, because of Carson Wentz, but once they got rid of him, I'm like, no, I'm done.
There you go. Good answer there.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, that's coming up here soon too. I have friends that are just like, "Oh yeah, football season's coming up." I'm like, I'm totally not in football mode at all.
No, that means racing season's coming to a close. That's a bad part.
Exactly. That's the way I look at it. I'm just like, I don't want racing season to end necessarily because that means the weather's getting colder, the days are getting shorter, and we're going to be hibernating for 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
Oh, Steven here is saying that you bucked him off the legend a couple of times, or he almost got bucked off.
Oh yeah, we were going to the meet and greet in Jamestown, and I kept on stalling it, and he was gonna ride up with me, and I just could not get going. I killed it probably 3 or 4 times.
Oh darn. Yeah, I my experience with the race car in Brody Carlsrud's stock car, so I got confused on how to switch it from low to high gears, so that was an ordeal. And then try forgetting that there's like a clutch in the vehicle, and I was hitting that instead of the brakes, so I couldn't stop. And I'm like, oh gosh, this is a disaster.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah,
think, oh, go ahead.
it's pretty weird to adapt to. I'm still not even that good at my starts. I can't. I'm horrible still. I spin my tires way too much.
Yeah, you that's one thing people don't realize. It's not just getting out there and racing at speed. You kind of gotta like nail the restarts, kind of keep your tires fresh and not cool them off too much or whatnot. And so, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a full blown experience.
Yeah.
Jeremy's asking, have you ever been to the Gateway Nationals?
No, I haven't, but that I feel like that'd be really fun to go to.
I haven't been to the Gateway Nationals either. People keep telling me I need to go this year, but usually I go down to California around that same week, and so it's like California Gateway Nationals. Both are really good options.
Yep, yep.
Because usually it's not ideal weather conditions up here.
No.
Well, as we wind down, you mentioned your racing schedule this weekend, Ada on Thursday, and then Jamestown both nights. Any other big races that you plan to hit towards the end of the year?
Mm, well, maybe try and get to the Stampede and that Gopher Throwdown or whatever. That's probably it. I don't really know. Like I said, whatever pops up that we have time for, we'll probably be there.
And do you have any goals that you want to achieve by the end of the season, or just kind of getting seat time is the main focus right now?
Yep, getting seat time. I'd like a top five is kind of the goal. Just top five, top five. That's kind of been the goal all year, and I've been close a few times, but
Yeah, makes sense. I know with go karting, I think with Lexi, I think if she had like underneath a certain lap time, she got like Dairy Queen or a shake from McDonald's. Do you get those same incentives too when you're racing?
no, I was just told to just go fast and just keep going and just never stop. But yeah, she was getting told, yeah, if you get under 9 seconds or whatever it was, you'll get ice cream or whatever. And she did it by the end of the second year, so that was good.
There you go. Well, maybe we need to get some incentives going.
Yeah, maybe.
Say you never know what may come from it. Oh, Ryan Erdall's saying they need to put Legends in the Dome. Now that actually would be interesting to see.
That would be fun. I agree with that. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe, you never know. Hopefully they continue that race. I know they've had it for like 6 or 7 years at least, and hopefully they continue on throughout the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Regan, I want to thank you for jumping on for Wednesday Night Live, and good job on your first interview. You did great.
Thanks.
And I'll be seeing you for 3 straight nights because I am also going to be in Ada and Jamestown on Friday and Saturday. So that's where you're going to find me for this weekend. And Sunday is going to be an adventure for me, so stay tuned for those details as well. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in, for all the questions and comments. Really appreciate it and glad the technology things worked out. So, Regan, I'll be seeing you tomorrow at the racetrack.
Okay. See ya.
Thanks, everyone. Tune in next time for another fun interview.